I? God is but love, and therefore so are you. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. We are entrusted with the gifts of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. The thought of God protects you, cares for you, makes soft your resting place and smooth your way, lighting your mind with happiness and love. Deny not heaven, it is yours today, it is yours today. But for the asking, but ask with desire. Now is Christ's power in your mind, to heal as you were healed. For now you are among the saviors of the world. For now you are among the saviors of the world. We count on God and not upon ourselves to give the certainty. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. I am, and you are entrusted with the gifts of God. All things are given you, He gives without exception, holding nothing back that can contribute to your happiness. The gifts you have are not for you alone. What He has come to offer you, you now must learn to give. The gifts are yours, entrusted with your care. The gifts are yours, entrusted with your care. To give to all who chose the lonely road we have escaped. To teach them by showing them the happiness that comes. The happiness that comes to those who feel the touch of Christ, who feel the touch of Christ and recognize God's gifts. Let sorrow not tempt you to be unfaithful to your trust. Let sorrow not tempt you to be unfaithful to your trust. Your hand becomes who accepts God's gifts can never suffer anything. You are entrusted with the world's release from pain. We are entrusted with the world's release from pain. Betray it not, become the living proof of what Christ's touch, what Christ's touch can offer everyone, can offer everyone. God has entrusted all his gifts to you. Be witness in your happiness, be witness in your happiness. Such is your mission now, such is your mission now. God has shared his joy with you, now go and share it with the world. God has shared his joy with you, now go and share it with the world. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so are we. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. God is but love, and therefore so are we. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so are we. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from my home place in front of my comfrey patch. We're probably going to hang out here for a few days. I want to tell you a little bit about comfrey. Anyway, I'm teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. Can't think of anything more important than teaching forgiveness. And Lesson 178 in A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version for Saturday, June the 27th of 2026. And you know, yesterday was actually my dad, who's gone on to be one of the great cloud of witnesses. But his birthday was yesterday. It's the day after my son Justice's, the 25th and the 26th. I meant to tell you all that yesterday. He was an example that I didn't realize he was such a good example for a man of peace until after he was gone. Can you imagine that? I lived his whole life. I thought that he was just kind of spineless and didn't have a lot to say. And then I looked at it through the new lens after he had crossed, and I saw it the day after he died. I thought, oh my goodness. My dad's been the perfect example of a man of peace. Anyway, thank you, Dad. Samuel Genoa Perkins. Okay, let's see. We've reviewed our lesson, which we're supposed to do 2 longer practice periods today. We reviewed it in a song. I hit some of the things I had underlined and kind of put it together in a string of song. So, God is but love, and therefore so am I. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I am entrusted with God's gifts. Been given to me so I can share them. Let not my mind deny the thought of God, and I am entrusted with the gifts of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And then, as well as your longer practice period, morning and evening, for at least 5 minutes, longer if you can, take an hourly remembrance of that idea, of those ideas, and be sure to give God thanks when you have that hourly remembrance. Stay on the gratitude frequency. and then ask for direction. Be in constant contact with the answer. Okay, let's go take a look in our text reading. We're in chapter 19, the Attainment of Peace, Roman numeral 2, Sin versus Error. And if you're reading through the original edition with me, the same Sin versus Error is chapter 19 also, Roman numeral 3. Colossians chapter 1, if you're reading through the New Testament with me. If you're reading through Iyengar Yoga, read page 226 and 227. And if you're going through A Course of Love, read in the treatises number 4, chapter 7. An End to Learning. Read page 382 to 384, which I think is the whole chapter, actually. Okay, sin versus error. And have I said thank you for joining me? If not, thank you for joining me. I'm very appreciative. It helped. I was telling a friend of mine the other day that I've been spending he said, what you do with your day? I said, I spend my day kind of studying A Course in Miracles. And I mean, I do other stuff too, but that's a major part of my life. And I hope it'll become a major part of your life, at least until you get to the point where you are abiding in the answer effortlessly all the time, without effort, just totally in contact with the Holy One. Okay, sin versus error. It is essential that error be not confused with sin, and it is this distinction that makes salvation possible. For error can be corrected and the wrong made right, but sin, were it possible, would be irreversible. The belief in sin is necessarily based on the firm conviction that minds, not bodies, can attack, and thus the mind is guilty and will forever so remain unless a mind not part of it can give it absolution. Sin calls for punishment, as error for correction, and the belief that punishment is correction is clearly insane. Punishment is not correction. And if you believe that, he says that's clearly insane. I've had lots of insane ideas that I've been holding. Probably still have some. I'm looking under every dark cornerstone of fear and shedding a light on it. Asking God for help. That's why we want to do those hourly remembrances, because that gives us many opportunities through the day to say, hey, I'm not feeling peaceful right now. I need to ask for some help. And then sit down and be still and quiet. And then get on the gratitude frequency after you've done your lesson. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Paragraph 2. Sin is not an error, for sin entails an arrogance which the idea of error lacks. To sin would be to violate reality and to succeed. Sin is the proclamation that attack is real and guilt is justified. It assumes the Son of God is guilty and has thus succeeded in losing his innocence and making himself what God created not. Thus is creation seen as not eternal, and the will of God open to opposition and defeat. Sin is the grand illusion underlying all the ego's grandiosity, for by it God himself is changed and rendered incomplete. Paragraph 3. The Son of God can be mistaken. He can deceive himself. He can even turn the power of his mind against himself. But he cannot sin. There is nothing he can do that would really change his reality in any way, nor make him really guilty. Wow. Can we accept that about our brothers and sisters? There is nothing that he can do that would really change his reality in any way, nor make him really guilty. That is what sin would do, for such is its purpose. Yet for all the wild insanity inherent in the whole idea of sin, it is impossible. For the wages of sin is death. And how can the immortal die? Of course, that's a quote out of Romans chapter 6:23. How can the immortal die? Paragraph 4. A major tenet in the ego's insane religion is that sin is not error but truth. The ego's insane religion, the religion of insanity. A major tenet in the ego's insane religion is that sin is not error but truth, and it is innocence that would deceive. Purity is seen as arrogance, and the acceptance of the self as sinful is perceived as holiness. And it is this doctrine that replaces the reality of the Son of God as his Father created him and willed that he be forever. Is this humility? Or is it rather an attempt to wrest creation away from truth and keep it separate? 5. Any attempt to reinterpret sin as error is always indefensible to the ego. The idea of sin is wholly sacrosanct. The idea of sin is wholly sacrosanct to the ego's thought system, can't be interfered with. The idea of sin is wholly sacrosanct to the ego's thought system is quite unapproachable, except with reverence and awe. That's the religion of insanity. It is the most holy, holy in quotes because it's not holy at all, only holy in the ego's opinion. It is the most holy concept in the ego system, lovely and powerful, wholly true, and necessarily protected with every defense at its disposal. For here lies its, in quotes, best defense, which all the others serve. Here is its armor, its protection, and the fundamental purpose of the special relationship in its interpretation. Paragraph 6. It can indeed be said the ego made the world on sin. Only in such a world could everything be upside down. This is the strange illusion that makes the clouds of guilt seem heavy and impenetrable. The solidness that this world's foundation seems to have is found in this. For sin has changed creation from an idea of God to an ideal the ego wants. A world it rules, made up of bodies, mindless and capable of complete corruption and decay. If this is a mistake, it can be done easily by truth. Any mistake can be corrected if truth be left to judge it. But if the mistake is given the status of truth, to what can it be brought? That's why we started with lesson 1, is nothing I see means anything. One of my favorite passages in the Bible is in Matthew chapter 6:23. If the light within you is darkness, how deep is that darkness? If what you call is if truth is really falsehood, well then you're in deep doo-doo. But if the mistake is given the status of truth, to what can it be brought? The holiness of sin is kept in place by just this strange device. As truth, it is inviolate, and everything is brought to it for judgment. As a mistake, it must be brought to truth. It is impossible to have faith in sin, for sin is faithlessness. Yet it is possible to have faith that a mistake can be corrected. 7. There is no stone in all the ego's embattled citadel that is more heavily defended than the idea that sin is real. The natural expression of what the Son of God has made himself to be and what he is. To the ego, this is no mistake, for this is its reality. This is the, in quotes, truth from which escape will always be impossible. This is his past, his present, and his future. For he has somehow managed to corrupt his Father and change his mind completely. Mourn then the death of God, whom sin has killed. And this would be the ego's wish, which in its madness it believes it has accomplished. And the last paragraph to finish this section. Would you not rather that all this be nothing more than a mistake, entirely correctable, and so easily escaped from that its whole correction is like walking through a mist into the sun? For that is all it is. Perhaps you would be tempted to agree with the ego that it is far better to be sinful than mistaken. Yet think you carefully before you allow yourself to make this choice. Approach it not lightly, for it is the choice of hell or heaven. Whether you're going to follow the ego's insane religion of believing sin is real, or follow the Holy Spirit's reality, which is, it's a mistake. A sin is a mistake that can be corrected. You just ask God for help. That you can't change your standing no matter what you do. You are always loved in God. God is beloved, and therefore so are we. Okay, let's see what's going on around the world today. It's martyrdom of the prophet Joseph Smith in 1844 in Carthage, Illinois, the founder of the Church of Latter-day Saints, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's also the Seven Sleepers' Day of Ephesus. A lot of European Christians celebrate that. Out of holidays and observances, I found it's Bartender and Mixologist's Day, Sunglasses Day, which, you know, they're finding now that when the light comes into your eyes without sunglasses, it alerts the whole body that there's a lot of sun, and it makes more, is it called melatonin? Anyway, it helps you to anyway, there are actually some studies that are showing that sunglasses are not so useful, and sunscreen stuff, be sure that it doesn't have chemicals in it that are detrimental to your human body, because the largest organ is your skin. You just wear a hat and put a t-shirt on if you're getting too much sun, particularly from about 11 in the morning till about 2 in the afternoon. Right there at noon or a little after, that's when the sun's the strongest. So, you know, put a t-shirt on then, and keep a hat on. Canadian Multiculturalism Day, Decide to Be Married Day and Celebrate Your Marriage Day, Global Smurfs Day, Great American Backyard Campout Day, and a Great American Picnic Day. Good day to have a picnic and just stay the night in your backyard. Happy Birthday to You Day. Happy birthday to you. Helen Keller Day, Industrial Workers of the World Day, International Ragweed Day. It's the Ambrosia genera. The common ragweed is Artemisifolia, and then your giant ragweed is Ambrosia trifida. It's been used for poultices for insect bites, poison ivy, and arthritic pain in the joints. It's an astringent, and probably why it's used for that. Internally, it's been used for fever, nausea, and diarrhea by our Native American brothers and sisters. Let's see, Hascap Berry Day, also known as honeyberry or honeysuckle berry. The Lonicera caerulea. It's a cold-hardy antioxidant fruit from Japan. You know, a lot of people think it has superfood status, so probably something good to grow. HIV Testing Day, Ice Cream Cake Day, Indian Pudding Day, which is basically pudding made with from cornmeal. Orange Blossom Day, PTSD Awareness Day, and then I said we were going to talk a little more about comfrey. It's the Symphyllum officinale. It's the root that is the medicinal part, and it's a perennial, though I have used the leaves too. It's a perennial. Its qualities: anodyne, astringent, demulcent, emollient, expectorant, hemostatic, a refrigerant, and a vulnerary. And it says in the herb book, which it's number 107, I think, in the herb book. Anyway, it says a decoction of the root is good as a gargle for mouthwash and for throat inflammation, hoarseness, and bleeding gums. Drink it to take care of most digestive and stomach problems, for intestinal difficulties, for excessive menstrual flow, and to stop spitting blood. So there's a few things that it's been used for. And then our word for peace is from the Turkmen people of the desert region of the Amu Darya watershed of the Pamir Mountains. And they're in Central Asia to the Aral Sea. And the word is for peace is Parahatcylik, if I'm pronouncing it properly. And I wanted to say about the Rainier sweet cherry, which is Rainier sweet cherry is, where's it at? An outstanding new light-colored yellow cherry with red blush. Flesh is very firm and firmly textured with good quality flavor. The yellow color outsmarts the birds as they go for red cherries. Rainier has a distinct flavor superior to most varieties. Bears early, is bud hardy and resistant to cracking. Sam and Stella bloom at the same time and are good pollinators. Space dwarf trees, 10-foot circles. Space semi-dwarf trees, 15-foot circles. And standard cherries at 20-foot circles. Zones 5 through 7. It is in public domain and it has no trademark. So you can propagate and sell that one at your heart's content without offending anybody, without giving royalties. Okay, let's close with our song. And if you want to take a little longer version of the song, go back to the beginning and play it and have it beside you so you can push stop after it's gone through. And be to begin your meditation, or even as a 5-minute meditation, just having it play quietly and listening. But I would encourage you to have nothing play and be quiet and still for at least a little time. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. Let my mind not deny the thought of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. Now go share them. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And as they say in Turkmen, from the Turkmen people, Parahatcylik, for peace. Parahatcylik. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. I am entrusted with the gifts of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Parahatcylik.